Hi everyone and welcome to Building Plot Finder UK, and today's topic is looking for the key challenge people generally find about looking for a plot or a development opportunity. Okay, so what I've done with this is I've actually asked AI to get us the key questions, the top 20, but we're going to do them in four lots, guys, just simply because it's just going to be too much for people to take in otherwise. So rather spend a bit more time and go through them in detail. So as you can see from here, this AI went out and asked 20 questions. I specifically told it to roam all forums and all relevant topic areas, and it's gone to places like Build Hub, DIY Doctor, Housing UK. It's also scanned TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the groups, and it's just come up with these key questions. So let's go through these and let's just see if we can't just hang a bit of information on these and perhaps give a little bit of guidance as well. So the first question is, where do people actually find self-build plots in the UK? Well, the simple answer to that is not on Rightmove. Okay, so if Rightmove is your only resource to look on in it, look for build plots, you are going to be very frustrated very quickly. So I'm based in Leeds, and if you were to go on Rightmove in looking for Leeds, building plot Leeds in and around the Leeds area, I think there's about 10 or 15 typically. But Leeds is not far off a million people now, so you've got almost 10, 15 in a million. You can do the maths. It's pretty slim picking. So absolutely not on Rightmove. But there are various strategies. Now, if you have a look on the Facebook page, I go through the key strategies where I think I've done a full video on where to find other plots, and I give 7 specific strategies that I really like at this moment in time. Albeit there's probably about 12 or 13. There's another good sort of about 7 or 8 we could add to that. But just at this moment in time, I give 7 tips on where to find build plots, and you can go and have a look at that video at your leisure. Second question or second concern is, are all the good plots already taken by developers? And the answer to that is a big fat no. Developers struggle and use targeting marketing techniques to get plots. They don't just rely on we simply don't rely on the portals. So a development plot by its nature, the key is in the name, a development plot. You are changing it from one thing to another. And what the key information there is, the owner of that piece of land or the controller of that piece of land may not know that that is a thing and an option, because development and land development is an extremely complicated piece of legislation. So many people don't actually know. So you can actively approach people who don't know what their plot could be used for, and you can educate them and make an offer around that education. Third question was, or third concern, can I create my own plot from a garden, paddock, or sideland? Well, it depends. So the answer could be, we're completely dependent on the classification of land that you live in. So if you live in the middle of the countryside and you've got a paddock, the planters probably no. If you live in what's known as the urban area and developable envelope within a city boundary or a town boundary, then the answer is possibly. But lots of work to do on there. You've got to do your research. You've got to find the designation of the land. You've got to find what the planning history is. So there's quite a bit of work behind there. But the answer to number 3 is it depends on them key factors. Fourth question is it better to buy land with planning or try to get planning myself? Well, the better option, that's actually the wrong question. The best option is to control the land while you get planning. So if you're buying land with permission, then it's only any good if you can increase that permission. Usually it will be overvalued if it's on the open market, on the Rightmove portal. So that is the key, challenge with that. So it's only any good if you're buying it if you can get what's called an overage on that, on the current permission. And so it is definitely better to get planning yourself, undoubtedly, because then you are harnessing the value in the planning uplift, or you're agreeing a margin in that, depending on what deal you do with the landowner, you're engineering a margin into that. Number 5 is, how do you spot hidden off-market building plot? Well, I've given some tips. I give many tips and such like in relation to this. And the quick and easy answer to that is, if you use the link on the website, I'll show you on whichever medium you're looking at, then we give a link to a piece of software called Property Data. And Property Data is excellent. It's a great value piece of software, and you can definitely use that to find hidden garden plots and make an approach to landowners should you wish. So that is a pretty good strategy. Why are plots with planning permission so expensive compared to houses? Well, this is a fantastic question, and completely underpins my various rants on here that you'll know. And it's because there's ultimately economics is the first question, first answer. And that simply means there's many more people wanting it. I mean, if you just do a rough scan of people looking for plots and the various build sites, I mean, you're probably in a number of 2 million people. So effectively, you've got 2 million people in the UK looking for plots to do this type of thing. And you've got, very, very few on the open market. So that's why they're overpriced. People will pay a premium for their bespoke home. People got, where money isn't an issue, and, people like that do exist. So I know people personally who've done that. They've made a commercial decision that they will spend more than the house is worth, but over a 20-year period, they'll get it back. And they're almost certainly right in that, in those thoughts. So yeah, the answer to number 6 is simple economics. There's not enough of them, and often when you do the maths on a plot and say how much it would cost to build, and then and how much the land costs and how much the fees are, then you will probably come up with a number, often 20 to 30% more than you can actually just go and buy a house for in the locality. So yeah, that's a peculiarity of the system. People who buy it, perhaps to get, they spend a lot of money on the planning and things, and they put it on the wrong in the wrong areas. People do this all of the time. And I've seen some absolute howlers over the years. I've sat down with students who've explained to me they want to build a house, and when we've done the numbers, it's going to cost 50 grand more to build a house than they can go and buy one. Why wouldn't you just go and buy one? So that's it, guys. That's the first 6 questions. I will be feeding these out over the next few weeks, covering off the categories. Please make your comments below and see, if there's anything, bits of information that you need to understand about. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks, guys.